Mike Harber, and this is CrashTalk. Just kind of a follow-up from the session we had last week, and just tried to break things up so there's not too much in any one session. I'm still in my duds from court, and it's all still fresh in my mind, and that's important because things are starting to get a little bit cloudy up there. So if it's still fresh, we need to get to it while it's fresh. Anyway, I'm not an attorney, and I'm not going to give you any legal advice tonight, yada, 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 but I got to say it. If you need legal advice, you need to seek that from a practicing attorney in your local area. And we are more than happy to recommend an attorney. We work with a lot of good attorneys. And we know some of the ones that aren't so good that you may want to stay away from, just like some of the insurance companies. And if you want a recommendation on a good insurance company, you can contact us about that too. And same thing, body shops. You got all these groups of people that they're either looking out for you or they're looking out for themselves. And everybody knows the difference. But if you're not involved in this, and what I hear almost daily, daily, but almost everybody I talk to is that I've never been involved in this before. I've never been in an accident, or I've never heard about this or that. I don't know what to do. So we want to try to help you. We want to try to help at least get you going in the right direction so you can make an informed decision on just how to handle things and stick up for yourself. I've referred to this many, many times, and I kind of get criticized for it, but it seems like dealing with the claims department and with an insurance company, it's like the playground bully. They got the checkbook, and they're going to tell you, oh yeah, we're going to do what's right for you. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. I've been doing this too many years, and unfortunately, it seems like it all relates to the bottom line. It's all about that. And sometimes that's not in your best interest. So tonight, what I wanted to talk about, I think our last episode, we talked about a total loss. And if you're in that situation, go to the one that's captioned total loss and pretty much cover the bases for you there on how we can at least advise you on your claim. We may not be able to help, and we'll tell you if we can't help. But the other main question that we get regularly, daily, multiple times every day, is people will contact us and say, well, I've never been in this accident before, and is my car going to be worth the same as it was? Or what is this term diminished value? What is all of that all about? Or I've been told by a friend or a relative that we should look into recovering for the lost value because that's part of my claim. But it's just so murky, and there's all this conflicting information out there. And when I asked my insurance company about it, they told me, no, you can't make a claim for diminished value. It's not covered. Well, okay, let's separate the facts from the fiction, all right? First off, diminished value is real. And unfortunately, if you've been in an accident and your vehicle's been wrecked and repaired, in most cases, not 100% of the time, but in most cases, your vehicle will not be worth the same amount it was on the date immediately prior to that accident. So what do? It's interesting because the Supreme Court decision in our state that came down in 2011 took 14 years in the making to get the state to recognize that diminished value is a real loss. And in that case, Moeller versus Farmers Insurance, David Moeller was insured with Farmers, and it was his fault. And he made a claim against his insurance company after the repairs were done. His vehicle was repaired. He was satisfied with the repair. But then he went and made a claim against farmers for the loss in value. And farmers fought it tooth and nail for 14 years until the Supreme Court finally ruled that, yes, it is a covered loss. Now, what happened about 4 or 5 years into this battle over what's covered, what's not covered, and everything else in the policy, because this was called a first-party claim. He was making a claim against his own insurance company. It was his fault. Nobody else to blame. But he, Moeller, felt his insurance was to fully indemnify him for his loss. And part of that loss was the loss in value. And the Supreme Court agreed. And the Court of Appeals agreed. And then the Supreme Court backed him up. Well, what happened is the insurance companies all got wind of this, that this is coming down, and they all then wrote exclusions into the policy. So an insurance policy is made up of a couple parts: what's covered and then what's excluded. So what happened, the insurance companies, they decided, well, we're not going to pay for diminished value anymore because it looks like it's going to be found in favor of the insured that is a covered loss, part of the loss. So if they exclude it and write it out of the policy, they don't have to pay it anymore. So for people that are totally at fault, if a tree falls in your car, if you hit a deer, you lose control in the ice and slam into a tree, sorry, you no longer can make a claim for lost value. But if somebody else is responsible for the damage to your vehicle, and if that person has insurance, or if they don't have insurance, you may still have the ability to recover for that portion of your loss over and above the cost of repair. I mean, just stop and think about it this way. If you were to go out shopping for a car today, and you go out to the lot, and there's two cars that are the same. Let's even say the same color. Same approximate mileage. They got all the same options. I mean, they got two cars, same. But they say, well, this one was in an automobile accident, and it sustained, I don't know, 5,000, 7,000, 10,000. You pick a number. No matter what that number is, would you pay the same amount of money for both of those cars? I think not. I think not. Now, the insurance companies would like you to believe that you would. And there is no difference. It's like, really? Come on. I didn't just fall off the turnip wagon. So don't try to tell us that. It's not worth the same. It's damaged goods. So we, Harber Appraisal, will review your claim, your case, no charge. What we need are a couple things. We need a copy of the final repair bill for the damage, that we can see the final, everything that was done. An estimate is not the evidence of your loss. The final invoice, the cost of repair, that's the evidence of the damage, the physical damage to your vehicle. We need that. We need to know the date the accident occurred, because a diminished value claim is based on that date, not sometime in the future. You don't have to sell your vehicle in order to claim or determine what your diminished value is. So we need to know the date of the accident. We need a copy of the final repair bill and the approximate mileage on your vehicle at the time of that accident. With that information, if you'll send that to us, we'll review it. We can complete a review usually within 24 to 48 hours and give you an idea of what your claim is worth, and if you want to then pursue it. And we then work with our clients that decide to hire us. We don't just send reports to people if you hire us. What we do is we help you through the entire process, because we are experts. This is what we do daily. I've been doing this for over 30 years, and we will help you make your claim. We will help you address the stupid letter, if you get one of those, which we see a lot of those. So we'll help you. We'll be there to be your partner as you go through this process. We can't represent you. We're not attorneys. Can't give you legal advice, but we are experts, and we can assist you from that position as an expert, not legal advice. So you could send it to info@harberappraisal.com. You can send it to me direct, Mike@harberappraisal.com. Just remember, Harber is spelled Harber, and appraisal is singular.com. Trying to think if there was any other of the common questions that come up that were routinely asked. And I'm sure I'll think of them after we end this episode. And maybe that's setting us up for a sequel. I would really like to know if there is information that could be useful to any of our listeners. If there's anybody that you know that could even be an interesting guest on the show. We've had some guests in the past that are quite interesting and have a lot of knowledge about different aspects of insurance and claims like this. We just want to try to be a resource for you. So send us your comments, send us your, I guess the thumbs up, the thumbs down, subscribe. And we'd like to hear back from you if this information is helpful. Anyway, we're still in this together. I'm not sure how long this is going to be, but wear your mask. Keep your distance. Keep washing those hands. And we're going to get through this. I guess they're coming out now we're supposed to start getting our shots. So anyway, thank you for listening. Mike Harber, Crash Talk. We're all glad that you tuned in. Hope to see you again next week.